Hey, what's up guys, it's the Consumer talking to you here, and today I want to talk about WWDC. Yes, I know that Apple announced the event invites on Tuesday and today is about Saturday or Friday. It depends on the day that this comes out, but I'm pretty sure it is Saturday today, so let's see if I can come out this video by Saturday. But of course, I want to talk about WWDC because I do think it's a very important event on Apple's year, and yes, this year we have some things to look forward to other than software, because as you know, WWDC is a software event predominantly, and so we'll of course expect iOS 16, watchOS, iPadOS, macOS, and way more like HomeOS. Yes, we should expect those, but there are a lot of things that we are also expecting for this event in terms of hardware, and I'm very excited to see if we can get them this event. But of course, I do think that you, viewer, are also excited to this event, and if you are, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel so you can keep up with all the news and leaks on Apple and of course this event. So no further ado, let's get started. As you know, WWDC normally is only a software event because Apple unveils their newest software to improve on their hardware that they released during the year. So yes, we will see the iOS 16, the iPadOS 16, the watchOS 8, I do think, and of course macOS. I don't know how it's going to be called. This one is Monterey, so I don't have any information about the next macOS name. But if I had to say something and which software am I more excited about, it's iOS or even iPadOS, those two, and so I will start for those two softwares. First, let's talk about iOS 16, shall we? Because I do think there are some stuff that iOS needs to improve, and I will say them on this video. I don't think there are a lot, but some specific stuff that Apple needs to improve on iOS going forward, and they are customization. Yes, I'm not an Android fan, I don't like Android, and I've talked about in my review of Android phones, especially the S22 Ultra, that I don't think the Android solution to customization is the end-all be-all solution. I don't like it. I do think it's still very complicated. But I would like to ask Apple to at least allow to bypass that annoying notification that you get from the Shortcuts app when you add different icon or even you add an icon pack to your iOS. So get rid of that. That's one of the most annoying things about getting an icon pack on your iPhone, and yes, I would like Apple to remove that, please. That step is so unnecessary, so annoying, and it's one of those things that you know that Apple does so they can keep you away from customization. They're like, you can do it, but we don't like you doing it. So yes, that's my first request for iOS 16. I do think that's pretty annoying from Apple, and I would like to see Apple remove that notification that you get from the Shortcuts app, or at least the delay that you get when opening that app. But of course, my second request would be about customization also, and that's on part of the customization of the main apps. I would like Apple to allow us to switch from default browsers, default music apps, and all of that stuff. I don't not use it, but I know there are a lot of stuff and a lot of you that would like to use it, and so yes, that's my second request for Apple for iOS 16. And as you can notice, they are getting pretty petty because I don't have a lot of iOS 16 requests. Apple has added Face ID with the mask. That was one of my biggest gripes, so now I'm completely fine with it. Oh, one thing that I would like to see on iOS 16, more Pro features on the camera app. Make a separate app for the Pro camera so I can switch between white balances and temperatures and all of that stuff pretty easily. My codecs also, I would like to record in 10-bit from the Pro camera, and I would like to choose, do I want HFAC or H.264 or even ProRes. I would like to choose all of that from my main camera app. I don't like buying these Filmic Pro app and others apps. I don't think that that's necessary, and I would like Apple to release their main and own priority Pro app where I can choose my microphone and I can choose all of that. That would be awesome, and I would like Apple to release it for free for everyone, because I just paid for Filmic Pro and I'm trying Filmic Pro right now. Let me know in the comments below. Do you like it more? Do you like it less? Do you think the audio sounds a little bit better, a little bit worse? Let me know in the comments below. But yes, this is my test for Filmic Pro. I paid around 20 euros for the main app and the remote app so I can control it on my iPad and on my Mac. But as you know, WWDC is all about releasing free software for everyone and for all Apple products. So yes, I would like Apple to release a main Pro camera app. One of my main requests for iOS 16, of course. And finally, my main request for iOS 16 is an AirPods app. Yes, I totally agree with Drew from Telusive Tech. We need an AirPods app so I can manage my AirPods software and of course my AirPods battery life, my AirPods battery health and my AirPods settings. They have been getting a lot of complications and a lot of intricate settings in the last few years, and now I do think that they deserve a different app from their counterpart like settings. I do think that they need an app just like the Apple Watch has one. I do think it will be pretty useful to get an AirPods app, and of course an HomePod app too. You can manage it from the Home app, but it's not as efficient if you had an HomePod app, or even improve the Home app a little bit better for support, and of course try to make it a little bit more user-friendly, because right now it's not that much user-friendly, isn't it? And that's all for iOS 16. I think that iOS 15 and even iOS 14, they improved a lot. Even with widgets, I like them a lot. I would like Apple to introduce interactive widgets though. So yes, that's another request that I forgot. Interactive widgets. But I do think Apple will introduce them this year. Let's see if I'm correct or not. But finally, we go into iPadOS, which is the biggest request that I have for Apple in terms of software. I mean, iPadOS sucks. I have an iPad Pro from 2018, and right now, iPadOS, it's its limiting factor. Yes, this iPad Pro is 4 years old. Listen to me, 4 years old. And the limiting factor on this hardware is not the hardware itself that is 4 years old, but the software. I do strongly believe that if Apple released a software update with Final Cut Pro, Logic Pro, I don't know, better Finder support and support for external cameras, external mics, external displays even, this iPad Pro from 2018, which is 4 years old now, would be a new device again. So yes, I do think it will completely handle it fine. It has the A12X chip, which ran on a Mac Mini for the software developing purposes on the beginning of the Apple Silicon transition. So yes, I do think Apple should and will introduce a new iPadOS system. Let's see if now they finalize their transition on the Apple Silicon lineup and they can focus again on the iPad lineup, just because I do think that they are missing a lot on iPadOS, and I'm just very disappointed with the iPadOS team, and I do think that my fellow YouTubers can agree with it. The iPadOS is so limiting on iPad that I cannot recommend the iPad Pro onwards, and the most recent ones are just crazy expensive for a thing that can replace a computer 10 to 15% of the time. Even for normal people it can do, but some of them find things that the iPad just limits them. And yes, I would like a very different, I don't know, split window view. I would like the weather app, I would like the calculator app. The Telusive Tech, again, Drew idea was amazing. Make just an iPhone app be able to go on top of the other apps, just like make a calculator app, but when you open it, just opens the iPhone app. Just like on the Mac, you cannot open a full screen calculator, but you can open a small calculator app, just like on the Mac really. And the weather would be just insanely cool to have on the iPad, because you have so much information on the iPhone that when displayed on a bigger screen, it would be amazing. And I do think you agree with me, because if you don't, I don't see the point why. But if you really don't agree with me, let me know in the comments down below. That would be an interesting discussion to have with you. But of course, these are my main requests for iPadOS 16. Make it more like a Mac, make it more computer-like, add, like I told you, Pro software, add a good Finder app, good external and camera support. Of course, the mic, external mic and external camera, you can also add settings to change them. And finally, please alter the way you do multitasking on the iPad. Just give us a lot better multitasking, multi-window views, because it's cool to use, but I don't see the point of having such a big screen with so much RAM and you cannot use it because the software is limiting. So yes, I'm very disappointed with the iPad OS in the last few years, and I would like Apple to improve it a lot more. Finally, when reaching watchOS 8, I do think I have some requests for watchOS, because watchOS, it's a cool software to have. It's very simple. It does very simple tasks. I would like to have a more interactive operating system, like a more smart operating system that can show me complications at a certain time of the day. That would be cool, like the stocks during the open days or the open parts of the day of the market, and then show me my messages. Or then reaching the night, show me, I don't know, how many calories do I have left. Show me if I have to burn more and start to warn me. Of course, show me how many hours of sleep I had last night, so I can make some calculations and realize how late I can go to bed. Yes, that would be pretty cool. More things to come, like, for example, try to make the battery a lot better, the battery management on the Apple Watch a lot better. Right now my Apple Watch is 79%, which in my opinion just sucks. It's very, very bad. I cannot believe how bad this battery health is in my Apple Watch, but I can still use it. But if I had a toggle on my settings that would allow me to stop charging the Apple Watch when it's at 80% or even keep it away from 100%, that would be pretty cool. I know that you can do it right now with optimized battery charging. It's not the same thing. It takes so much time to learn your habits, and when my habits, they are very different. Like, I do not charge my Apple Watch every night. I put it on the charger whenever I want to, whenever it needs battery actually. So yes, I would like more smart features for watchOS. Other than that, I don't see what Apple could do. They don't need to add the third-party watch face. I don't think that would be productive. Just like, because Apple's own watch faces are pretty good, pretty cool, and I do like them a lot. I don't see the need to have third-party watch faces. But if you do, let me know in the comments down below, because I would like to see how many people actually comment on the fact that watchOS, almost 8 years later, or 10 years later actually, from 2014, it's 8 years later, doesn't have third-party watch faces support. Let me know in the comments below what's your thought on that. Me, I don't really care. So let's move on to macOS, shall we? For macOS, I don't actually have a lot of things to say. I do think that macOS is very, very good. The overhaul design that we got on Monterey was good. The Big Sur was also good. And now I'm just asking for more performance improvements, more stabilization, more bug fixes, more performance in general, faster performance. I do think that Apple can take a little bit more from the M1 family that they have right now and try to optimize even better. Try to create even better apps for Apple Silicon and try to bring over all of the older x86 apps to Apple Silicon. Of course, that won't be easy. You will have to talk to developers, and as you know, developers sometimes can be a pain in the ass. Other times they are right and they should be defended of their rights, but other times they are stubborn when transitioning to new technologies. So let's see what happens with WWDC and the Apple Silicon transition. And talking about the Apple Silicon transition, yes, I need to talk about one more computer that Apple announced on the April event or even the March event, which was the Mac Pro.
With just one more product to go, Mac Pro. But that is for another day.
They said that the Mac Pro might be coming someday. We don't know yet. In the future, it's the last computer to finalize the transition. But as you know, in 2020, Apple, when announced the Apple transition, they said that in the WWDC, of course, they would take 2 years. So yes, we are reaching the 2-year end mark, and so we should see the Mac Pro being released on WWDC, at least announced, with, of course, the new chip. This new chip is rumored to be 2 M1 Ultra's chip, and this would be insane performance. As you know, 40 CPU cores, 32 high-performance cores, 8 high-efficiency cores, and of course 128 GPU cores. You heard me right, 128 GPU cores. That's 4 times as much as my M1 Max MacBook Pro and 2 times as much as the M1 Ultra Mac Studio. So this is a pretty linear scaling for Apple Silicon, because the M1 Max is almost like double the M1. The M1 Ultra is 2 M1 Maxes stitched together by Ultra Fusion, and of course we are expecting this new chip, which I don't know which name will Apple have. M1 Ultra Duo, I don't know. Maybe it will be 2 M1 Ultras stitched together, not by Ultra Fusion, but maybe for other process, or even Ultra Fusion. We don't know if Apple is hiding something on the M1 Ultra. Let's see. But of course, this Mac Pro would be more modular than the Mac Studio. Not modular in the way that Apple talks about it, but actually modular, so you can interchange the RAM, you can interchange your GPU. What I do think Apple will do, I don't think will please a lot of people. I think that Apple will add the option for you to put even more cards of M1 Ultras. For example, the base model will start with an M1 Ultra, but in the future, if you want more performance, you can buy an M1 Ultra slot and put it like that. So you get 2 M1 Ultra slots. Now, I do think Apple will do it just like they did with the Afterburner card on 2019 Mac Pro. They were testing the waters of how can they make an Apple Silicon computer that can be very interchangeable. You can probably put even more RAM afterwards. You will probably have a limit of 256 of unified memory, like 256 gigabytes, because the M1 Ultra is 128, and if you double that, that's 256. And if you want to get even more unified storage, you have to buy even more M1 Ultra modules. But you will also have the option to have not unified RAM, so the normal RAM, the normal SSDs. So you can put 256 up to probably 1 terabyte. Let's see if Apple can do that. That would be pretty cool. And of course, more interchangeable stuff would be the GPU. I do think Apple will put an internal unified GPU and all of the neural cores and all of that stuff on the M1 Ultras. Then you'll be able to add an external GPU. Let's see if Apple can do that, or if they don't, please, this thing of adding more M1 Ultras on top of each other, that would be pretty cool to see. And if Apple can do that, you will probably also scale up the GPU a lot more, and you will probably not need an external GPU to be interchangeable on your Mac. Let's see what Apple can do. I don't think at Apple they will use AMD, neither Nvidia. I think they will try to create their own GPU power. Let's see. Now that they are full on Apple Silicon, I'm very, very excited to see what Apple can do with infinite power on the Mac Pro. Because yes, this will be the most powerful computer ever on the planet made by Apple. Even powerful than the M1 Ultra Mac Studio, and coupled together with it will be a new display. Yes, an even more powerful and expensive version of the Studio display that we got with the Mac Studio. So imagine this Mac Pro like a step above the Mac Studio in every single way. Performance, upgradability, modularity, and of course accessories. Yes, you will be able to buy a new and improved Pro Display XDR. I'm thinking that they will put the Mini LED technology with 120Hz support, but this will be a 5K 32-inch or even a 27-inch panel. Let's see if Apple will replace Pro Display XDR, because the 27-inch panel, I don't believe Apple will replace it with a 32. So right now we have a 32 Pro Display XDR. I don't think that Apple will put a 27-inch on its place. So I think they will put a middle ground between the Studio display and the Pro Display. The Pro Display is $6,000, the Studio display is $1,600. So if Apple makes a $3,000 computer or display, I do think that it will be pretty cool, and I do think that it will sell a lot like hotcakes. A Mini LED 120Hz promotion display, but to be promotion, it will have to be 4K. So let's see what Apple can choose between. And of course, it will be a great option for you, those of you that want a great companion to your Mac Pro and don't want to spend the big bucks on the Pro Display XDR. I don't think that the Pro Display XDR about color correction and the HDR reproduction will be a little bit better than this 27-inch Mini LED, because this will be cheaper. Either way, they will try to make a new display for the Mac Pro, and I'm excited too, because Ross Young has been talking about a lot about it, and they said that it will come out during the summer, so probably the announcement date will be around WWDC. And don't forget that this WWDC will happen on June 6th, a Tuesday, and I'm very, very excited for it. The event will be live streamed online, but there will be a lot of developers there on Apple campus to watch the event live on a projector or something in a room, just like a Zoom class. Let's see what will happen. I'm very, very excited for this event, and of course you should too. It's one of the biggest events for Apple during the year, and I'm very, very excited for it. So if you are excited for this event, don't forget to drop a like down below and subscribe to my channel, just because, as you know, I will keep up with all the news and leaks regarding this event, and actually all of the news about Apple. So if you are interested in that, don't forget to leave a like and drop down below and subscribe to my channel. We are growing so fast. Thank you. My YouTube channel has exploded in the last few days, and I couldn't be more happy. This is my life's work for now, and I'm studying engineering, but I'm putting a lot of work and effort on this channel so I can make it one of my own priorities in life. So if you like my channel, if you like my content, I would appreciate a lot if you help me reach the 1,000 subscribers at least until the end of the summer. That would mean a lot to myself. So this is Texmer talking to you here. Bye.